I'm Fraser Simons,
I'm YG Mitchell.
and this is Young at Heart, a sports drama story game. So last time on Young at Heart, we had Hoyt spitting up blood, alluding to something in the past, as well as we had him make the gesture of going to a framing place, specifically getting a frame that he had seen Bridget like, and replace his contract with her acceptance letter. And she had just walked in and seen that, but we didn't know how that played out for them. It was just looming there.
We're going to go to a hospital bed, and our picture Hoyt is lying there, and he's got his arms over these white sheets with one of those clips on his finger.
With the heart rate monitor with the blip.
Yeah. And there's a drip, and there's that machine. We're looking from the window into his room, and he's speaking with the doctor, but we can't hear it because we're on the wrong side. So the camera pulls back, and we see the person looking through the window is Eleanor, and that's quite conspicuous. Bridget's not there, Jake's not there, it's his mum. Hoyt and the doctor finish their conversation, and the doctor leaves. Eleanor comes in, and I think we stay on the other side. We don't get to hear their conversation either. We see Hoyt speak to his mum. Hoyt's in his 30s by now. He's hit the prime of his career. He breaks down into tears while he's talking to his mum, and she grabs his hand and holds it tight, consoles him. So Eleanor's going to console him, and then we're going to roll, and the question is whether she's going to get him to let his partner know about this illness. So I'm putting the terms of that up front. Is that fair? Like, because you get to choose what he does, so if you win the role. So is that...
Oh yeah, that's fine. So which one do you have a clear idea for?
I'll take pride.
Oh, I rolled a 1 for heart. Heart is getting trounced in this game.
Yeah, that's
got
a
6. Wow, the opposite.
The camera kind of fades into the room on Eleanor, saying, "You've got to call her. You've got to speak to her. You've got to tell her. She's going to be worried sick." And Hoyt has dried up his tears, and he's shaking his head. He's pleading with his mum to not tell Bridget about his illness.
Yeah, and then we just fade out so we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll delete a heart and a pride. Let's get rid of that one on the side there.
We deleted the pride that I just added with that dice roll. So
yeah.
So in effect, heart has lost out because we're deleting one every scene.
Yeah. Let's have him and Jake be at a bar, a seedy-ish bar that's the Greyhound, where lots of ball players go after the game kind of thing. I think we see Hoyt flick up his phone, because we're not quite in modern times, right? So it's a flick up phone. It's getting there. It's like the Nokia flip up instead of the iPhone or whatever. But it's not quite yet. And it on the text, it shows like a few hours before, and it's from Bridget, and it says, "I passed my exam." He turns to Jake, and he says that only a little bit longer now, and she's gonna be home. where I'm going with that is I think it'd be neat if in the park what she was actually alluding to was that like she's actually now done her degree like apart from him, right? And so now she's like, you can kind of like retire and come, and now it's my turn to go with it.
Right.
But she's actually like gone, and they're doing like long distance kind of thing as she gets her degree and all that kind of stuff. I think he's at the bar with Jake, using this as an excuse to celebrate, to get drunk with Jake kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's celebrating her achievement with getting, in the 98th percentile of the exam with Jake, and I think he still hasn't told her about the problems that has only been getting worse, as I'm assuming they've kept on going to the Greyhound, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the role in this scene would be the same thing, right? Like maybe the rift that was caused between Jake and Bridget so far back there was also primarily because Jake knows this secret and she does not, right? And maybe Jake is the one this time who's like advocating for telling Bridget, and Hoyt's thumb is over like the call button, like literally, right? He just needs the courage to do this and tell the woman that he loves that he's got these ailments that we haven't quite discussed how serious it is, but it's only gonna get worse the more that he keeps drinking, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I'll go with hard again to try to call Bridget. And I got a 3.
5.
Oh, 5. The camera moves from the hovering over of the big thumb of Hoyt to Jake's kind of perspective, and he puts his hand on Hoyt's back and says, you have to tell Bridget she's only going to be away for a little bit longer. Do you really want her to find out about this when she gets back? Is that the kind of the homecoming that she deserves, right?
And we get a close-up of Hoyt's eyes as he looks down on his phone. And we cut to a close-up of his thumb over the phone. We cut back to his eyes, and back to the thumb, and back to his eyes again. Then a cheesy guitar intro from some corny song starts playing, and Hoyt's eyes light up. And he flicks closed the phone, stuffs it in his pocket, and calls out, "Shots for everyone!" And the whole bar cheers out, and we cut to like this montage of dancing and drinking, and
maybe he's like a really good dancer too. Maybe he does the John Travolta Pulp Fiction dance where it's strange and odd, but you can tell that he's quite good as well and just being odd, right?
And then we see the bar from the street view, and we see through the window like the silhouettes of all this drunken cavorting as the music plays on into the night.
Hi, this is Jason from the Gauntlet Gaming Community. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, please consider supporting the Gauntlet on Patreon. Our page can be found at patreon.com/gauntlet.